这是我在画，这是 speed painting。这边是 the traditional buildings, the traditional Chinese building and the details. Colors, you bright color for highlight. Pure blues for the real colors are red. I choose not to use the same color.这个我画的这一个呢，它是叫光荣榜。然后that is 就是 background, put more detail in background. Around a building, the cornice, the cornice inside the cornice sculpture inside the room. And my paintings in order to put more detail on the backgrounds, the traditional Chinese building styles and the things. This the normal the green plant, some tree and then the some oars above, and then I move on to the hair. The hair styles, in China, the girls' hairstyles called horsetail hair. This is the young man. I put more attention to the hair, the young people's, the detail. Put quite a lot of colors, the bright color for highlight. Very pure the color for highlights in the mist colorful. Anyway, the colors are used as you can find the series in other place. I used my own series. You can tell the cereal, the color I use should call it's like sunlight color set. Can't remember. There's because at the end of November, quite cold. It was raining that morning. When I did that, it was quite cold and wet outside. That's outside. And then I put a little the everyday people just in different. This is I think I will usually I not focus on one thing. Sometimes I first time I was decided to have 2 people there. Later I removed this 这是烧香炉 something there's something to you burn some 香 for conversation with goddess 你可以放，这是烧香炉，烧香炉的建筑背景也算是一种建筑 and some belong to some sort of building, but it's unique in temper. The religion prays unique in some Buddhist temper. But the Chinese Buddhism was different. I went there just like the Chinese building culture, that kind of building. I went there just for looking for the art and building styles for Chinese culture. So quite useful to go to some Chinese temple or Buddhism temple they kept quite a lot of Chinese hours, or it's not hours, some art styles and building, your importance building as or sculpture from a goddess, the god sculptures, and then you can see some different Chinese art style. This is a Chinese tradition. The building style is quite useful. Sometimes you can see the Buddhism temple. The building can show, especially Chinese Buddhism, and can see the Chinese styles, old tradition buildings mixed up with modern design. That's the tree I put more detail on. The trees around the building, that's normal styles in China, in old tradition Chinese Buddhist temples. They believe nature or Chinese long before the culture believes nature should be part of the building styles. So some trees and plants were around that. And then I went to keep going, put more detail in the some consortium. I don't know how to say the word. Just some sort of sometimes they burn some paper to send the paper to the god. Burn the paper, some paper with called paper art. They were burned in the certain this kind of bowl. This kind of outside usually made by concrete or metal, heavy metal, and you can burn the papers. The paper usually quite colorful. Look like a paper house, paper money, and in this kind of bowl, or you will send a wish to the god, tell the goddess something you want, the young, and then he put more detail in the building. That's because behind the trees there should be a who, Chinese who, the who to building the. So I had to put more detail the trees in front of the Chinese some building, the who is because I forgot about it, so I put more detail about them. The tree actually it's a normal tree. I just put some colors, some sticker to make it more exciting to look at. There's not related, not real. But the trees, I feel like if I put the real look like real leaf, it's quite boring. So I decided to put anything on that, and then just guide you, let you know that's a tree. There are trees around there. And then I put more details about the small the building, the Chinese classical building styles, the decoration, I like that kind of style Chinese. And it was different days made by not made by wood, made by concrete. That's very lovely bit. It's long tradition ones was made by wood. Maybe this after rebuild they put concrete. That's a background. I keep fit in the background, so some necessary detail about the green plants and the grass and the tree and the building behind the tree and the Chinese some building decoration, because sometimes you may hour about everyday people, so the building should I think some people ask for more detail in order to know where they are. And then I like the Chinese building style anyway. There's some nature around the building. There are as garden way. It's a normal. It may building a tree and plant around the building. That's a very classical Chinese way. And this speed. Actually, this painting I did more than 7 days. It's a speed art to show you how I done it in the over the 7 days. I decided this figure on behind it's unnecessary for a whole topic, so I'm more that man out of this. I sometimes some figure, some human or some people not really necessary for topic. I'm going to going to tell you the stories. No, so sometimes I already paint what is necessary. I feel interested, sure, saying something. And this and continue to put more detail on the rooms was the goddess. That's the goddess. A stat. Yeah, that's the stat. You is high. Some and we were so pure in front of the gate. You can sit there or just knee them down, put your knee down to converse thanks to the goddess. Yeah, that's the normal the buildings the windows and they come the Sometimes you probably information always be sell anyway, not my the reason. Okay. And just the speed painting, to speed up the whole process I done. That's the problem in China. If you, it doesn't matter. That's not the important. Anyway, continue. This the paintings speed art to show you. I had done in 7 days about the whole process. Quite complex. I feel actually 7 days just a little bit, not that much. Yeah, the detailed close to. Hi, 大娘。哎呦，我得点酒了。 就是导演啊，选色有时候我用 watercolor， sometimes I use watercolor, sometimes I use oil brush, and usually it's for floor and water on the floor. Sometimes I use watercolors. And it's get into later stage. Actually, you can see it's not a lot. If you made it 7 days, how little I done must be quite slow. And not important. You can see the whole process how they do sometimes. And you see something every day you don't you get, and the next day you have a usually got different I get different idea and then feel more detail. Sometimes the things on the floor I tend to use watercolor, and as you say, the watercolor or the oil pastels and whatever. And just try to 3 dimensional. Sometimes need some the most of the time just put more detail. The color sec I familiar each hour I made not always the same as before. Uh, it's up to my deckhand what I want to do or my emotion or I didn't set the time for how long it would take for finishes each hour. Take as long as possible until my until I feel satisfied about the project I done. Or if I found nothing I can do for them, I will leave for a few days. So because I live for a few days, and this, if I see something, sorry, I just feel later. So nowadays, you can see the 7 days not do a lot of things. And for some people, it's a fusion. Some real artists will complain about my speech quality slow. And I don't understand why I had to limit my time to finish hours. So maybe they was argue about the why I their break to publish it, that kind of thing. I just feel this is such a matter. It's the people who I feel interesting want to tell you, want to show the everyday people's probably they don't care, but I care. So even my skills not really not good, and make each hour take so long. But I enjoyed it. I like the way I done, so I show you whole process. It's a way to let you know, or make you interested in how everyday people live. That's all. They might never. Each time I post my everyday people hours, it's pain. Then not a lot of people love them. Because I know the famous persons, I had to be famous person to post anything to be attract. Because my subjects over most likely my skills not really professionals. I don't mind. It's for me. I just do my best to put something I think I understand and I'm willing to spend time on these hours to tell you the story in this hour. And then you can see the whole hours for my eyes. It's probably reached to that's what I can done for now. Probably I will leave this hour for a few days or maybe a month, and I can think about how to put more detail in or change color set or put some interesting sticky or something. It's near to the end sometimes. Maybe for some professional notes, still there are a lot of things they want to change. But for me, most of the time I use the saying, say you can try, especially you can see there's no such fit way I doing thing. I just do a bit and make up the brush or color when I go wrong with the whole process. I'm not very good at the right guitar about the. And sometimes you can see I feel the face not colorful enough. I will put a more face, and I feel the clothes, 3 dimensions, and the eyes, this younger, and some background, some nature's the tree and the piranha green grass or such as and leaves and that's I like to put the more decorate style of the our that's this coffee is done by ours in the coffee time that time more. And then I found sometimes, sometimes you always forget about some face, some boots. This is the girl, she wear the boots as is plenty student wear the boots. And even in November, the plant still full of the leaves. Yeah. Sometimes I feel quite scared. Just some stranger knock my door. I feel so scared. There's some private information leaked out on the internet. Some people knock the door. So I feel so. It doesn't matter. The lucky thing I didn't open the door. I was worried about some scam. Anyway, that's not nothing connected with this one. Anyway, the building I put more detail in the building. And so because just some people tried to get in my house, so we was scan information. I'm so scared. The young guy, he just looked like, worried about it. Lucky thing I didn't open the door. I worried about they were knife me. And that's probably my own imagination. But sometimes you feel scared. You feel your own information be sell out on internet. Some people knock your door for some information, and you never notice who are they. And so, especially you're a woman, you feel scared. Open the door. Lucky it's in daytime, so maybe just some sort of scam. It's a part of life. When you shopping internet so often, your private information show is not good. Anyway, I had to answer phone. Right? 下了，是不是？Hi, darling, the coffee come.好啦，哎呀，整天都有送快递的 delivery. Okay. To not to get up myself to ask my husband to go to pick up the parcel on. Okay, for safety reasons. So scarce. It's nothing to worry for. Sometimes this parts of in China, proper information will be sell on the markets, and some people will knock the door, call your phone, and try to scan out over to you, things like that. As long as you don't open the door, don't answer some stranger people the phone calls, it's okay. Like just a little scaring, but you had to internet shop. Maybe next time I will try to don't use the address. Difficult to do, don't use the address anyway. Anyway, why did I finish the hour? Oh, this is speed payment. Should be finished by now. Yes. That's see, all 7 days stopped. Okay, I will go to. Yeah, I got the coffee. The big bad coffee. Buy online quite cheap. It's quite quick. Anyway, just no. That's finished. Was in the 7 days. Thanks to watch it. I hope you enjoy the way that I doing hours, and I had to tell you that's not a professional way. It's my way to doing things. If you have any questions, you can come on and bye for now. And my beer will be best for next project, next hours to show us. Okay, see you. Even nobody watch it. That's a joking. I told myself. Oh, I had to show the picture to show the pictures how they look like. You might want to know the whole picture what they look like. See the full picture up. Let's see. This is a picture. And there you see the detail I was done in the 7th day. I was proud of the tree. It was plenty sticky, and I like the humans, the young people's put so many detail about full of the color. I like to put the color I prefer and the way that I organize colors is there are no rule. Maybe you can find a way. I just to follow my heart and I like my buildings. I feel my there's some Chinese buildings. And I like the old woman the handbags. And see you can see I like the fingers on the handbag. I just feel how she the old woman, the elder, the younger generation follow the elders. So this is the younger generation. This is younger, might be age probably 18, something like 18 or 20, or possible. And so I put quite a lot of detail on her to show she holding this this xiang or something to talk. It can the same thing that you can see this old woman hold this hold the same thing. The one really conversation. The old woman. This body straight is a mean that go from this angle. That's a normal the straight to conversation to say wish and say respect to the gods. The way to she did is the body language to respect the goddess. In this angle, she wear this angle. This is three angle. All have three angle. Three goddesses in different rooms. And then I done the goddesses figures inside this room. I did some goddess parts. It's not really complete because I didn't want to make you feel that's the religions are. I just put the necessary tell you where the where the situation what this is Buddhism temples. This is inside the Buddhist temples. So I just put necessarily the basic on this goddess. And the goddess actually is if you know that in it's a quite India design, so it's full of gold color on top, and on sit down on the water lilies, and it's very complex mystery about the India Buddhism influence and Chinese culture, Chinese. And this bunch of the public university students, few girls, and one young boy. They can see their wearing, can tell how old are they. There was a stand of the clothes, the jackets, and the belt. They carried some kind of this kind of bag, and boots or the dressings. Exactly tell the ages, and then I tell them the face of the hostels, and hostels is the girls and the short haircut, and the girl short. This is a girl. This girl, there were three girls. The hairstyle different. There's a boy, and then I put and lead one of the human figures. It should be a worker with working class. So not only student include the worker work in this temple, and she wears she wears the boots. So I haven't put more detail on that, but it's enough to let you see the she's worker in cleaner, maybe it's cleaner in this temple. By accident took a photo, but she in work. But I like the working class anyway. And this old woman, she's maybe coming for the religion is a woman, but this young girl, her face could tell she was not that serious, but this old woman, she look quite serious about the religion, and this young girl just learning that not really is quite serious about the religion. They probably just experience and what going on for old tradition. Is there no such a and then I like the old style of the building made by concrete, not made by wood. Now that you can see quite a lot of concrete fit in with Chinese tradition building styles. It's quite lovely. I like they create a way to doing things. You don't have to anything done by it's made by wood, and as long as that is look like quite Chinese tradition, it's okay. Yeah. Okay, that's the whole. So and then I put some water refresher floors on that because showing that's wet. That was wettest of mornings. Probably you can't tell that's morning, but you can see that's was rain, a lighter rain before I yeah. So you can see the refresher was and give more 3 dimensions about. And then I like suppose I did put some more detail about the some parts of the 香炉 probably can't tell you the Chinese was 香炉. It's a place to burn some papers to give thanks to the gods. The paper, if you see some paper, they look quite lovely. The as colorful, and they make a paper look like as a piece, and then burn them in the fire and they put inside here. So sometimes it's very lovely. Sometimes see some papers as our but they burn them to conversation with God. So they put all the best thing to send to the gods. A part of you can show in the culture. That's a whole thing I done in the 7 days to try to show you how I was attracted by the people behave. They act, they are as who they are, and as everyday people. I was just tell you, and that's why I penned that because they just showing what everyday people is not special. Is they are not acting. They be it's normal as you see or recently happened in China. That's very typical, or you can see it's normal, and because no would be a typical, and in my opinion, just like that. And so because this so common, so I feel they should be put in the hours, and it can show us how what's going on recently, or so what happened, what changes in this place I live or the country I live. And I like the people as who they are, so be they self, and they don't need to act how to. They don't ask you to follow them. They just be part of the society. Anyway, you can see I put quite a lot of detail. You will wonder how The detail was done. Actually, I just like to pull more color brushes, oil brushes, anything, everything, or oil pastels. I try anything on this painting, and the trees. I put quite a lot of stickies. There's no. They can see whole lot of detail. Okay, that's all you can see what I had done in the 7 days. It might be not your taste, but I just show what I feel and I had done. Okay, see you next time. That's all for now.